Hello, welcome to my channel. Now we're having chapter number 7, which is citizenship. Well, I must say that whatever I'm teaching, whatever I'm putting on the internet, it's solely to be used for the revision because um, most of us in our exam day we kind of rush and we kind of search for videos, and we find most of the videos were full length. So I myself, as an aspirant, I found that a bit inconvenient, because in short span reading one chapter for 1 hour, it's costing us a lot. So for me, I wanted to make sure that whatever lesson that I'm sharing, it's solely the to maintain time and at the same time cover the chapter before we go to exam. So well, I must say that you can use this as a revision. You can just listen to whatever I'm talking about, and I think that would help in reminding, in revising whatever lessons that you learned from your textbook or from your coaching center. So let's start the chapter. Citizenship covers the part 2 of the article 5 to 11. So I must say that citizenship is a very important chapter. This is how you will understand how we are called Indians, how we Indians are, got our citizenship. So India has two kinds of people, which is citizens and alien. So by citizen, we mean the full members of Indian state which owe allegiance. Allegiance means loyalty to it, and they enjoy all civil and political rights. So those are what we call citizen. But alien is not the, ones that travel on the space, but rather the citizen of some other state, which is not an Indian. Okay, so they do not enjoy all the civil and the political rights that we Indians, we citizen of India, enjoy. And then next is the constitution confers the following rights and privileges on the citizen of India. So we, the citizen of India, we have some rights and privileges that are being given to us by the constitution. So let's see what are these rights. It's the right against discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. And then next is right to equality of opportunity in the matter of public opinion. And next is right to freedom of speech and expression, assembly, association, movement, residence, and profession. And next would be cultural and educational rights. And next, right to vote in elections to the Lok Sabha and State Assembly. And right to contest for the membership of the parliament and the state legislature, which means we can contest in the election and be part of the Indian parliament or the state legislative. Means you need to be the citizen of India to contest in this in these elections. And next it would be eligibility to hold certain offices, that is President of India, Vice President of India, Judges of Supreme Court and High Courts, Governor of States, Attorney General of India, and Advocate General of States. So these are the office that the citizen of India can hold. And next would be, in India, both citizens by birth as well as naturalized citizens are eligible for the office of president, while in USA, only a citizen by birth and not naturalized citizen is eligible for the office of president. And next comes the single citizenship. The citizens of India owe allegiance only to the Union, even though Indian constitution is federal and envisage a dual polity, which is center and states. But US and Australia adopted a double citizenship. So for India, we must follow the single citizenship, because for India, the rule is that the citizen of India should only be the citizen of India, and they must they must be loyal only to India and the Indian constitution. And at the same time, we say that Indian constitution is federal, but at the same time, we also follow a dual polity, which means we have a central government and also a state government, which is called the dual polity. And then next we have the Constitution of India, like that of Canada, has introduced a single citizenship system, and provided uniform rights, except in few cases. So, for the people of India, to promote the feeling of fraternity and unity among them, and to build an integrated Indian nation. So, I believe that this part would be very much important for your mains, because uh, because they're asking the reason. This paragraph answers the reason why India is adopting single citizenship, because when we have single citizenship, our founding fathers, they believe that if we follow the single citizenship, that means we've provided them uniform rights, and also at the same time we can promote the feeling of fraternity and unity. So that was what the founding fathers had been dreaming of, because they wanted India to be united. Since India is diverse, you know, in cultures, in caste, in race, everything is diverse in India. So, um, forming unity is quite different and quite difficult. So they believe that constitution can be a source. So they started framing the constitution to uplift the society unity. So that's why, we are firmly, made to follow the single citizenship. But what we are seeing is that even though they wanted to build an integrated Indian nation, but still, India is witnessing the communal riots, class conflicts, caste wars, linguistic clashes, and ethnic disputes. So this is what we are speculating right now in this age. And as you see that nowadays we're seeing a lot of religion-based conflicts, right? But does it mean that the Constitution of India has, reached a goal that the founding fathers had been dreaming of? So I would say that it's no. And even this paragraph also says that, the cherished goals of the founding fathers has not been fully realized, because India is, they wanted India to be united and integrated, but still there are a lot of communal riots, class conflicts, and caste wars, linguistic clashes, and ethnic disputes. Well, at the same time, I myself belong to the Northeast, and sometimes we feel that we've been intimidated, we've been discriminated. Um, so the moment that I believe that the time that we don't feel this would be the time when India is united and India is living peacefully and looking towards development. So I hope that this days come in the future. And I do believe that it also lies in the hand of the youths, because we need to be secular. But like the fraternity quality is not going to be should not be just in the constitution, but should be, within us. We should nurture them within us. And I think that the goal that the founding fathers had um, dreamt of would be realized. And then, according to Constitution, the following four categories of Northeast become the citizen. Sorry. According to the Constitution, the following four categories of persons became the citizen of India at its commencement, that is on 26 January 1950. So always remember that the Constitution was, it came to effect from January 26, 1950. That is why we are celebrating Republic Day on January 26th, because it is the day that the Constitution had been, commenced. And a person must fulfill three conditions to be domiciled in India. He or she was born in India, or if either his or her parents was born in India, or if he or she has been ordinarily the resident of India for 5 years immediately before the commencement of the Constitution and became a citizen of India. Or A person who migrated to India from Pakistan became an Indian citizen if he or she, either of their parents or any of their grandparents, was born in undivided India. That is, in case he or she migrated to India before July 19, 1948. So for the first one, it says that, you know, you can be the citizen of India when you are born in India, or if your parents are born in India. So this is not about the present day India, but this is about the time when, in 1950s, to be honest, this was about 1950s. India got its independence in 1947, so they have to consider the rules and regulation to set, to make sure that the citizen of India is distinguished and defined properly. And they said that his or her parents must be born in India, okay? Or he or she has been ordinarily resident in India for 5 years immediately before the commencement of the Constitution. So when is the Constitution commenced? The Constitution is commenced in 1950. So that means he or she should have resided in India for 5 years before. That means he or she should have lived in India by about 1945. Then they can be called a citizen of India. So this is the, one of the conditions that the Constitution has been giving to be called a citizen of India. And the next is, a person who migrated to India from Pakistan became a citizen of India if he or she, or either of their parents or any of their grandparents, was born in undivided India, and in case he or she migrated to India before July 1948. So the thing is, they wanted the citizen to be called Indian when they had been residing in India before 1950. Okay, so this second part is mentioning about the migrating from Pakistan. They're coming to India, but actually they were born in India, or if their parents were born in India, or if their grandparents were born in India. So that means if their grandparent was born in India and they have shifted or migrated to Pakistan, they can just come back to India if they had, migrated to India before July 19, 1948. So this is the conditions that they're being setting. And next is the person who migrated to Pakistan from India after March 1, 1947, but later returned to India for resettlement. So the second one, this was talking about they were living in Pakistan, but they wanted to migrate to India. But this is about going to Pakistan from India, and again they want to return to India for resettlement. So they should they have to migrate after, if they migrated from India after this 1947, but they want to come back and resettle, then they can become as Indian citizenship. But this must be after 1947. If they go to Pakistan after 1947, but they've changed their mind, they wanted to return back in just 1 to 3 years, so they can return back. But they have to be a resident in India for 3 months. Oh, no, sorry, for 6 months. Because for this kind of people, they require registration. So they have to stay for about 6 months, and then they must send her application for registration. And next would be a person who any of his parents or grandparents was born in undivided India but ordinarily residing outside India shall become an Indian citizenship if he or she has been registered as a citizen of India by diplomatic or consular. So that means the diplomatic or consular's approval is very much important. That means a person whose parents or grandparents, they were born in India. I'm so sorry. So that means that if one of the parents or their grandparents was born in undivided India, but actually it's their parents or their grandparent that was living, but that was born, but in his generation he was being born and raised in some other country which is outside India, so they can become an Indian citizenship Indian citizen. But the thing is, they have to register as the citizen of India by the diplomatic or consular representative of India in the country of his or her residence, and whether before or after the commencement of the constitution. So this means they have to register before the constitution or after the constitution is commenced. So constitution commencements had a very important role to play regarding the citizenship. So in short, it's mean the person domiciled in India, the person migrated from Pakistan, person migrated to Pakistan but later returned, and persons of Indian origin which is residing outside India. Okay? And next would be Citizenship Act of 1955. So it provides for acquisition and loss of citizenship after the commencement of the Constitution. And next would be acquisition of citizenship, birth, descent, registration, naturalization, and incorporation of territory. Okay? And next would be birth. So by birth, the person born in India on or after January 26, 1950, but before July 1st, 1987, is a citizen of India by birth, irrespective of the nationality of his or her parents. So, but the children of foreign diplomats postulated in India and enemy aliens cannot acquire citizenship by birth. So they can be called a citizen if they are born before 1987 in India. If they are born on or after 1950, but they must be born before 1987 to be called citizen of India by birth. Okay, the next would be descent. So the person born outside India on or after 1950 but before December 1992, okay, is a citizen of India by descent. And if his or her father was a citizen of India at the time of his or her birth, further the minor who is a citizen of India by virtue of descent and is also a citizen of any other country shall cease to be a citizen of India if he or she does not renounce the citizenship or nationality of another country within 6 months of his or her attaining full age. So that means if you are born in another country and you hold the citizenship of another country, but if you don't renounce that with time, then your citizenship your citizenship of India would be seized, and you will no longer be a citizen of India. Okay, the next would be registration. A person shall be deemed to be of Indian origin if he or she is either of their parents was born in undivided India or in such other territory which become part of India after August 15, 1947. So all the categories of the person must take oath of allegiance before they are registered as citizen of India. So for registration, they must take oath of the loyalty before they're being registered as the citizen of India. So, who can become the registered citizen of India? So there are ones who would be, born in another territory, but after 1947 they become a part of India. So those people of the other territory can become Indian citizen only after the registration. And next will be naturalization. A foreigner who becomes a citizen of India after fulfilling specific legal requirements such as residency, good character, language, or civics knowledge, and having an oath of allegiance rather than by birth or descent, with processes varying by nation but generally involving an application and government approval. So what we have mentioned before is that who can become who can be the president of India? They should be like by birth or by naturalized, they can become the citizen of India. No, sorry. They can become the president of India. So how is naturalization done? So it would be a foreigner. He had been a citizen for another country, but after fulfilling some legal requirements, they and even getting approval from the government, then that's when they're going to be called Indian citizenship. So they are naturalized citizens of India. And then next would be by incorporation of territory. If any foreign territory becomes a part of India, the government of India specifies the person who among the people of territory shall be the citizens of India. And next will be Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. So it provides a pathway to Indian citizenship for illegal migrants from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Pakistan who are Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jain, Parsi, or Christian, and it applies to those who entered India on or before 2014 and allows them to be exempt from being considered illegal migrants under the law. So for this Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, they are setting um, a schedule that they should have entered India on or before December 31st, 2014, and only then they can become the citizen of India by law. The next would be loss of citizenship. So renunciation, termination, and deprivation. So what is renunciation? Upon registration, the person can renounce his or her Indian citizenship. So when a person renounces his or her Indian citizenship, every minor child of that person also loses Indian citizenship. But such child, upon attaining 18 years, can resume Indian citizenship within 1 year. So that means they have to attend 18 years again so that they could apply Indian citizenship. But that should be within 1 year. The next would be termination. So an Indian citizenship voluntarily acquires the citizenship of another country and his or her Indian citizenship automatically terminates. So this provision, however, does not apply during a war in which India is engaged. Okay? The next would be deprivation. It is a compulsory termination of Indian citizenship by the central government if a citizen obtains citizenship by fraud. It shows disloyalty. After naturalization or registration, they have been imprisoned in any country for 2 years, and again the citizens have been ordinarily residing outside India for 7 years continuously. So that means you can be deprived of your citizenship if you stay outside India for 7 years continuously. Okay, so beware if you are staying outside. It must, by the rules, you must come back to India for about a month or about a week so that you won't deprive your citizenship. You won't be deprived of your citizenship. Next, we'll be comparing NRI, PIO, and OCI. So I believe that you must have heard a lot about NRI. So let's see what NRI is. NRI is the non-resident Indian. So an Indian citizen who is residing outside India and holds an Indian passport. So NRI are those they stay outside India but still they hold Indian passport. And next will be person of Indian origin. A person who or whose any of ancestor was an Indian national and who is presently holding another country's citizenship or nationality, that is, he or she is holding foreign passport. So that is called person of Indian origin. They hold another country's passport, but they were born and their ancestors were Indians and they are connected with India. And next will be overseas citizen of India. It's a lifelong visa or status to live and work in India for foreign nationals of Indian origin. Okay. So Article 5 says citizenship at commencement of Constitution. Article 6 says rights to citizen of certain who have migrated to India from Pakistan. Article 7 says right to citizenship to certain migrants to Pakistan. And then Article 8 says rights to citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India. And next says Article 9, the person voluntarily acquiring citizenship of a foreign state not to be citizens. And Article 10, continuance of rights of citizenship. Article 11, Parliament to regulate the rights of citizenship by law. So it's very much important that you know some of these, but sometimes it's also okay, but you need to be mindful and you need to keep in your mind that Article 5 to 11 is always related with citizenship. So here comes the end of the syllabus for citizenship. So I would like to thank you for having, consulting the chapter till the end, and I'm very thankful to you. And at the same time, I will keep on, uploading more chapters for Indian polity, and I hope that you will like it in the future. And do make sure that you support me because your support means a lot to me. Thank you so much.